Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackenzie and today I am talking about all of the books that are coming out, or spoiler alert, have already come out in January of 2024. So it's January 25th. I am fashionably late, as one may say, to this. A lot of these books, if not all of them, have already come out this month, but it was something that I was really excited to create and something that I did a lot of research and a lot of reading for. And so I decided to make the video anyway because screw it. So I have my handy dandy computer here with me who can give me all of the information that I just researched for this. And we're starting off right away with one that I have been waiting for a really long time. It's Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma R. Alban. It came out on January 9th and I placed a hold for it on the library because I am really trying not to spend money this year. I know I have 1,000,001 book hauls videos, but my goal for January and just like this year in general is to read more books that I already have and to use my library more. So I have a hold for it at the library, but I haven't bought it. I'm very proud of myself. Go me. It has 4.01 stars on Goodreads, which is pretty good. You typically want like a 4 to 5 star rating. You're never going to get like a perfect 5-star, but anything like less than like a 3.7 or a 3.8, like, starts to look iffy for me. But it's historical fiction, it's a sapphic romance, and it's kind of a mix between Bridgerton and The Parent Trap, and I love both of those things. I love Lindsay Lohan, and I'm obsessed with the Bridgerton soundtrack, the way that they use a lot of popular music today and then just make it like violins and like, I don't know, I really love Bridgerton. So like, the fact that this book has all of those things together makes me very excited for it. And so basically there are 2 teen girls who do not want to get married, and so they are trying to set their parents up together instead. Spoiler alert, I think they fall in love with each other, but who knows? I haven't read it yet, so don't quote me on it. I will say this is written in third person and it does make me want to die. I don't like third person writing, so I'm a little bit nervous to like actually pick it up and commit to it, but hoping for the best with that. I will also say that this is the first in a series. They're each independently written, each independently like books, but they're all like same time from, I don't know, they're in a series. And so she is coming out with a sequel in August of this year, and it is also like a Taylor Swift type. It's You're the Problem, It's You. So this one is Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. I could sing the rest of that song, but I will spare my own ears and yours and not. And so the next one is You're the Problem, It's You, and it's an enemies to lovers one. So like, I'm excited just for this series in general, so I will give you an update when I end up reading that one, but that's one I haven't read yet. The next one on my list is A Lodge Affair by Rachel LaBerge. Don't know if I'm saying any of these names right, but that's okay, I'm trying. It came out on January 16th, and I have read this one. So this one has 4.45 stars on Goodreads, also pretty good. I read it and rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but like, for me, it has to have a special something to give it to a 5-star rating. So it was 4 stars for me, but that's still high praise, so that's good. But for this one, basically Ivy is our main character here, and she caught her boyfriend cheating on her, and she works with her boyfriend. So like, it's like an office romance, and it was like, he cheated on her, so like, cut him out. But that basically means that she is stuck by herself going to like a work retreat. And so she does this work retreat by herself, ends up stuff going down. She has to extend her stay, and the lodge owner kind of helps her out with that. I really like how it has good friendships as well as romance. Some of the side friendships and stuff really meant a lot to me. I liked that the author focused on the friendships and the romance, not just the romance. And then some of the tropes, it's a one bed, slow burn, opposites attract, grumpy sunshine, and Ivy has anxiety, so it does have anxiety representation. And I really appreciated that because I also have been diagnosed with anxiety, and it was very accurate representation, at least for my experience and for how anxiety affects my life. This representation was very accurate, and I felt very seen by that, so I really liked that. So that's a sleigh. And it also includes the cutest little woofer. There's a dog and his name is Slate, and it's a French bulldog, and it's really cute. And I don't know, Slate is the main character. The dog is the main character. That's that. But it's by an indie author, and I would recommend this. So 10 out of 10. Next one is another indie author. This is The Right Choice by Allie Samberts. It has 4.31 stars on Goodreads, which is pretty good as well. I also gave it a 4 stars. I got an arc of this one too. So this is one that I have read. I gave it 4.5 stars. I always round down on Goodreads, so I technically gave it 4, but I would give it 4.5 stars. And it's a marriage in trouble book, and it's really realistic, it's raw, it's honest, and it shows a lot of the hurt with both the male and the female main character. And I don't have a relationship in trouble. That's never been something that I've faced, but it gave me a lot of hope for if that ever is me. And it just was really realistic, giving up is not your only option type vibes. And I know a lot of people read to escape their current situation, and I do the same thing. I read a lot of things that just could never be me. But this felt very realistic and very raw and vulnerable, and it was making the choice to love each other rather than just falling in love naturally or falling in love artificially, I guess. We read a lot of ways in which people fall in love in fake ways, but this was making the choice to love each other. And that is the biggest takeaway, is it's a choice. And wow, it was powerful. I really liked it. And that's another one that I would recommend. Fourth up on our list, we have I Wish You Were Mine by Jessica Peterson. I wanted an arc of this so badly, and I didn't get it. And that's okay, because I didn't get it because I didn't apply for it, because I didn't realize that she was coming out with another book. So it's my own fault, and it's out now. So I'll just I'll get it myself. It came out January 18th, but I read the first book in the series and it was so good. So this is the second book in the series. It has a 4.06 on Goodreads, and it's another single dad and nanny. I actually haven't done a single dad and nanny, so it's not another one. It's just, that is what it is. It's a single dad and nanny, so it's forced proximity. It is an accidental pregnancy, which is an iffy trope for me, but I don't know. The single dads and nannies have really been my thing recently, so vibes. And it's an age gap, small town, and open door romance. So excited. It is definitely on my TBR. It's something that I would like to read. When I will get to it, I don't know, but it's up there. I'm excited about it. Next up, we have The Perfect Mistake by Olivia Hayle. That came out on January 19th. Now, I love Olivia Hayle. I do. I've read 2 of her other books. I've read The Perfect Mistake, which is the first one I've read the other one. The Perfect Mistake is this book. I read the first book in this series, Best Enemies Forever. Very, very good. Loved it. I also read How to Honeymoon Alone, and I also really loved it. The Perfect Mistake, I did not love quite as much. It has a 4.24 on Goodreads, which is pretty good again, but I gave it a 3. It was not my favorite by her. It just was not for me. Sorry. But I'm honest about like all of that, you know? Not my book, but maybe it's your book. It's A Single Dad and Nanny. This one comes second. I have been really into single dads and nannies. You can't tell because I didn't like this book, but like I've read other books that are that trope that I really like. So it is a single dad and nanny. It's first person dual point of view, which again, love. Best friend's brother, open door spice, age gap, basically like a ballerina like gets injured and can't dance anymore, and so she becomes a nanny instead, and they deal with that. It's really interesting, like the communication with them. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this one. Not my favorite, but I do recommend the other books by her. So not this one, but the others. This one's interesting. So the next one on my list is The Breakup Tour by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund. Pronunciation. Who knew? And that one came out on January 23rd. And it's definitely not one that I'm going to pick up. Like, I'm not interested in it, but it's had really mixed reviews. So it has a 3.63 on Goodreads, which, like, that's not very promising if you ask me. But it is a Berkeley book. And, like, there's nothing better than a Berkeley book. I love our other, like, publishers. I also really like indie authors who, like, aren't published by publishing companies. But Berkeley books just, like, they get me a different way. And I love Berkeley books. So, love. But here's the thing. It has Daisy Jones and the Six vibes, is what I've been told. And I hated that book. And you'll hear it on my January TBR, like my wrap up. I listened to an audiobook of it and it was a DNF for me. It just like, count me out. No. There are also lots of Taylor Swift references, which I like the idea of that, but I only like the idea of that if it's done right, because you can either do it right and it's a really good book, or you do it wrong and then it's like a really bad book. Because the book that I was talking about at the beginning, Don't Want You Like a Best Friend, that one also has Taylor Swift references. And I feel like they do that in a good way, whereas this one, a lot of the reviews that I've seen have been like negative, like too many Taylor Swift references, just like done in the wrong way, those types of vibes, and I just don't know if that's for me. So, but it is also a second chance romance. It's a dual point of view, and it's a lot of like touring and behind the scenes and like the point of view of like what it's like to be a celebrity. So if that's for you, then that's for you. And like, this either like really spoke to you and you should pick it up and you're going to love it, or you didn't like any of those things and you definitely shouldn't read that. I don't think that I liked any of those things, so I'm not going to pick this book up, but maybe you will. Who knows? Next up on the list, we have The Fake Dating Game by Timothy Janovsky. This came out January 23rd, and I'm excited for this one, but it is also one that has a lot of split reviews on Goodreads. It has a 3.96, which is pretty good. Like, I'll take that. Anywhere from like a 3.75 to like a 4.5 is good for me. If there's too many 5 stars, I feel like people just get like paid to review at 5 stars. So like, you know, that 4.75 to like 5.5 is like really that healthy spot for me. So 3.96 is a good spot, but there were a lot of mixed reviews. Like, people either loved it or they DNF'd it, and all the people who DNF'd it wrote that they DNF'd it because of the writing style. My cat has joined us. I don't know if he's in frame or not, but he's here. But everybody who DNF'd it based it off of the writing style. So I don't know if this is a book for me or not. I think I'm gonna have to read the first few pages and then see if I'm gonna like it or not. But it has a lot of the things that I'm really interested in. It's queer, which I love. I love a good queer representation, queer book. It's funny and light, enjoyable. It's spicy. It's fake dating. It's fake dating. So like two guys fake date to be on like a reality TV show, a reality game show, and try to like win the money, because everybody needs money nowadays. Like, tell me about it. Me too. So I like the premise a lot. I think it's just going to be like, will I like the writing style? And if I do, this is going to be like a really good book for me. And if I don't, then I'm going to hate this book. But it'll be mixed for me too. But it is on my TBR. I'm interested in it. Okay, I really didn't want to include this next book because I really don't care about it. And I know that's controversial because everybody else cares about it, but I personally don't. Coming out in just a few days, we've got Sarah J. Maas, House of Flame and Shadow. This is the third book in the Crescent City series. I can't tell you anything about it because I read the first book in the series and just like didn't understand it and like lost myself in the world building. It just like, it wasn't for me, and that's okay. I genuinely don't care about this book. I know a lot of other people do. I do really like ACOTAR, and I've heard that like this series in general like has a lot of like interwoven parts, which is exciting. So like, if anybody ends up reading this and has ACOTAR news, please spoil it. Please let me know, because I do want to know like what the tea is with ACOTAR, but I don't care about Crescent City. I just want to know what happens. Yeah, so I have one more on my list, and this one is Playmaker by Avery Keelan. And I haven't read any of her books, but I know she writes a lot of sports romance, and I'm really interested in picking some other things up by her. This book was supposed to be released the beginning of January, and since then it's been pushed back a couple of times, and there still isn't a release date for it. And I don't know like what's going on, like if it's like her mental health or something, which like I really hope that she takes care of herself, like take the time to write the book, because like readers who want to read the book will still be here when that gets written, you know? Or I feel like it could possibly also be like she got picked up by a publishing company, because a lot of times when you're in the midst of that, you have to like stop writing, or you can't release new things because the publishing company like wants to release it and wants to like do all of that. So I know that like going from an indie author to being represented by a company has a lot of changes. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I wanted to include it anyway because I'm really excited about it. It's a hockey romance, and it's a single dad and nanny. And that's what I know about it. I don't know a lot. I just know that it's adorable, and I would like to read it. And whenever that comes out, that's awesome. And I look forward to that. So that's a good chunk of change. That's a good like handful of books that came out in January. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if I've added a book to your TBR, or also if I missed a book, because if there are any books that released in January that like you're really excited about that I missed, that I didn't post, let me know, and then I can include that like in the February one, because I want to do this for every single month. I don't know if there's going to be enough books. I don't know if I'm going to commit to it, but we're gonna try. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.